Hi, everyone. Hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of uranium. And what I'm seeing is the overall markets are looking quite good. They're putting in big bullish engulfings, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, solar, a whole bunch of different areas are looking good to move higher. And I think this is still highly correlated with it, but it does look like we're going to get a bounce over there, which could give us a little bit of jet fuel to move on up. I call it jet fuel, some fuel to move on up higher. So the overall market looks good to move on up. So I think uranium's looking good to move up as well as it's breaking through its pattern here. And we'll go through that right here. It's the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. We are moving on up on a daily candlestick basis. It looks really good. If we back out, it still looks good with this bullish engulfing on the weekly candlestick basis. So I think we are, so long that we finish tomorrow strong, going higher. It looks good, and I would be a buyer down here of a lot of the companies. I can tell you which ones I purchased recently in uranium. I purchased URNM. I'll go back to the daily candlesticks. This is a big bullish engulfing candlestick. Bullish engulfing means that we are most likely going to head higher. We got the support line in here. I bought it right in the bottom here in the beginning of today. I was looking for a reversal pattern. I saw it open low. I was waiting for people to buy it up. I saw the movement up, and then I just said, I'm going in. So I bought on this day here. I bought on this day here. I bought on this day here. That's where I purchased. If you want to know what I purchased in URNM, these were pretty large amounts down here, and I bought another smaller amount over here. This does look like it's good with this bullish engulfing. It's engulfing these ones before it, and it looks really good to move on higher. I'm pretty excited about this. It looks really good. BNNLF, putting in a hammer pattern. It's got a bullish engulfing pattern here. We kind of leaked out a little bit lower than what I even thought. I do think we're going to head higher with the overall sector looking like it is. The African crew, which Bannerman's part of that crew, usually is delayed a little bit behind the move. And I think we're going to see a big move to the upside. Hopefully a big move to the upside soon. Goviax uranium, bullish engulfing. Usually they resolve themselves higher to the upside. That looks like a very good setup here to move on up. We're right at support. Again, guys, this is long-term support in this white line going up here. I would be a buyer, which I was a buyer. Not in Goviax per se. I do own Goviax, but I was buying in URNM. And I would buy Goviax. Global Atomic, GLATF, up 6.26%. That's another company that's had a very good run. It's got a nice big bullish engulfing. Looks really good to move on higher, just like the rest of the group. So Global Atomics had a pretty good run. I was a big buyer down here in the... No, it was right here. 51 cents is where I bought a lot. Somewhere in this range in here. What was it? October? Yeah, 45 cents is where I bought, I think. And I've just been holding on. We got a long-term uptrend line. We're right around that line. I would be a buyer if it were me. This is one I recently added to, Forces. May the Forces be with you. I saw this developing. I bought a lot in the 54 and below cent range. So I bought it this day here at 54 cents, and I bought it again today in the morning. I thought I got pretty good prices. Big bullish engulfing. I think it's probably going to resolve itself going up. It is kind of below this support line, but sometimes they fall back out. I'm hoping we see a big move. This is one that I really beefed up my position in for Forces metals because I want the Forces to be with me. That's what I want. So in order for it to be with me, I have to get a bigger position, and I loaded up here in this area over here, guys. That's what I did. It's not advice. Pure Point Uranium, bullish engulfing. We're starting to see bullish engulfings everywhere. We're right at support. What do I do at support with the bullish engulfing? I buy it. That's what I do. That's not advice. That's just what I do. Another one that's getting towards support, deep yellow. I do like it down here. I already have a pretty big position in it, so I don't want to... I'd rather add to something that I didn't have as big of a position, but this one I like down here as well. Paladin's right at support. What do you think I'd do at support? I would buy it down here if it were me. Nice good. It opened lower, closed up, basically a flat day almost. I would be a buyer down here if it were me. Sky Harbor, another one that's got a bullish engulfing pattern coming right to the tip. Nice support coming underneath this. Lots of resistance coming up above it. We're right at that point where we could see a big break to the, hopefully, upside. We've got a bullish engulfing today. The buyers and sellers have been slapping each other at this rate, at this area. Bearish engulfing here, bullish engulfing here, bullish piercing here, wick at the top, bearish engulfing there. I mean, we've just been going back and forth, bearish piercing, back and forth, left and right, bullish piercing, bullish engulfing. I mean, this is like back and forth style with the buyers and sellers every single day, back and forth, right at this resistance area up here and the support area down here. So it's squeezing up. We are going to break something, and we're breaking it very soon. I say we're going higher because the rest of the group looks like it wants to go higher, and I don't know why Sky Harbor would do anything different. Next Gen Energy putting in a massive bullish engulfing all this stuff before it, screaming like it wants to go higher. It looks really good. Canalaska, another one that looks pretty good. It's right at support. If you guys want a Canadian exploration company, it's at support, guys. That's where I would be buying. I would be doing it now if it were me. I would definitely choose baseload. If you guys want a Canadian explorer, a little more risk, a little more juice in the portfolio, I'm talking about Mark McGuire juice and Sammy Sosa and all those guys. This does look like it wants to go higher. It's broken this downtrend line. I think this one looks good for a move higher. FISOF, bullish engulfing. It looks like we want to go higher. We do have resistance right above it. If we can get the momentum in the entire sector to move on up, I don't see why this wouldn't move up along with it. Fission uranium, bullish engulfing. We're probably going to be moving higher. Looks really good for a move up. CCJ putting in the juice as well. Bigger volume today. Looks like it wants to go higher. Higher. Kazatomprom getting smoked, hitting on the head to the downside. We do have a little wick at the bottom. We'll see where this thing goes. I know there's a lot of fear in the markets. That fear is remaining, so I don't know if I'd be a buyer down there or not. It's up to you. Sprinkle if you're going to do it. Peninsula Energy right at support, looking pretty good. If you guys like Peninsula Energy, I can't say that it looks that great with the 2.5% down day when everything else was up quite substantially. Boss Energy moving sideways at support. I don't really own anything of Boss Energy. I just kind of go over it because everybody wants me to. And Lotus Resources moving sideways again. It's not one that I own, but you know, some people like it. Uroy is a company I own. Bullish engulfing, looks like it wants to go higher. I like the setup down here. Looks good. Encore Energy, it's my largest position. I do think it's going to go up. This one, Bannerman, Deep Yellow. Deep Yellow is not as big because it hasn't gone up as much, but Bannerman is quite large, and so is Encore Energy of my holdings, if you wanted to know that. This looks like a buy right here. Bullish engulfing, looks like it wants to go to the upside, just like the rest of the group. UU. I own hardly any of it. I've got nothing against it, guys. They just, in the big long-term thing, they've done a dilution fest of this thing. I do think it will go higher. It does have a bullish engulfing. Looks like it wants to go higher, but it's just not one of my favorite companies. That's all. URG, another bullish engulfing. Looks like it wants to go higher. Another American company. The American companies did quite well today. UEC, bullish engulfing, wants to go higher. Looking absolutely fantastic for a move on up. LEU, bullish engulfing, right at support. What do we do there? We buy it. If you guys like LEU, fire it off. That's what I'd say. Not advice. Only if I'm right will it be accounted for. LTBR, since this one has the pop, I would be a buyer right where I put that circle. If it comes in here, I would buy it. And what would I do? I would buy it. Is that advice? No, but I would buy it. That's me. It's my own advice. Big bullish engulfing. Looks like it wants to go higher. ISENF looking like it's at support. Looks good. Good strong closing. That one looks okay. Appia Energy just moving sideways for Appia. DNN, bullish engulfing, looking like it wants to go higher. We had a bullish engulfing before this. Small little update and another bullish engulfing, and I remain by my upward arrow. Blue sky uranium moving sideways with good support underneath it. Looks okay. I don't see the bounce in it, so I don't know if I'd be adding into it. Forum energy metals, bullish engulfing, looks like it wants to go higher. Enfield's been moving sideways, not much action there. Laramide's got a lot of good bounce. Again, I think it's going to go higher. I had the dip, we got the dip, and now we're getting the rip. Like I've got the arrow, so we're ripping higher. Western uranium looks okay, bullish piercing there. UEXCF, bullish engulfing at support resistance. I would be a buyer if you like it. Mega uranium getting a nice good pull to the upside. That one also looks good. And if you were to look at like something like TAN's got a massive bullish engulfing, just like our group. I'm just going over this real quick. The SPX, S&P 500 bullish piercing, Nasdaq bullish piercing, almost a bullish engulfing. I'm seeing a lot of bullish movements there as well. It is still correlated from what I can tell. Uranium held up better. It didn't go down as much. And when we go up, it's amplifying the move to the upside. So what I would do is I would buy. That's what I would do. Not advice. You guys have to take on your own things. I'm a buyer here. I bought Thesis metals in good amounts. I beefed up that position. I like Bannerman. I like Deep Yellow. I like Goviax. I like Paladin Energy. I like Fission Uranium. I like Uroy, UEC, me, right? URG. All these patterns look fantastic, guys. URNM looks good if you want an ETF. If you were to look at URA, I'll type in URA here. I know some people they wonder why I don't go over URA. Well, here's URA. Bullish engulfing. What do you think I'm going to do? I would buy it down here, and it's probably going to go higher. We got the volume stepping in. It looks really good. So, I mean, maybe it's correlated with solar. Maybe it's correlated with the renewables, and they're starting to put these all with the ESG renewable type companies and ETFs, and maybe that money's flowing in. Difficult to say, but we're getting the positive signs. To me, I added up. I added in. I put what I could in there. I really beefed up. I beefed up the position of Forces. I was kind of waiting and not really waiting. I had money, and then I deployed it. I deployed everything I had at these guys in uranium. So that's what I did. I saw the strength. I said, you know what? It's time to go. It's go time. And I added in. So sometimes it works. And in the short term, I think that we're going to be going higher. It doesn't mean that tomorrow is necessarily going to be higher. It might be. It might not. The bullish engulfing's there. It could go sideways for another 2 weeks and then go up. It doesn't mean that the bullish engulfing is nullified. What we want to see is just by looking at this chart here, we want to see the lows stay above this low here. If I could draw it, my lord. We want the lows to stay above here and above this resistance line. If we have that, I think we're going higher. It's okay if we dilly-dally around here for a little bit and then go up. I'm not calling for that, but it's okay if it does do that. I think eventually it will move on up. So it's not, if you're a new investor, when I mean it's going to go higher, it's going to trend higher. It doesn't mean that the next day will trade higher. It will trend higher over the next weeks, months. So I'm a buyer here, guys. I cost average in. My favorite is Forces Metals. That's what I bought. Doesn't mean that's the right one for you. A lot of people like UU. A lot of people like DNN. They all look good. So pick whichever one's your favorite. And do what's right for you. If now is a good buying opportunity, you're going to have to decide that yourselves, guys. But I'm a buyer. Thumbs up for the content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.